includes 3 diaspora representatives, while Mozambique reserves 2% of the membership of its legislature for the diaspora. In Tunisia, 18 out of 217 members of the Constituent Assembly represents the diaspora, while the number is 8 out of 382 in Algeria. Do you think it's only right that, in fact, we're even moving on from, voting from diaspora? Do you think it's even only right that we have provisions for that kind of representation in the future? And how beneficial will that be to the growth of our democratic process? Kunle?
So in the National Assembly, the job of... So I'll go back. I'm trying to explain. Democracy started in Greece. Democracy started with the legislature, what we know today as legislature. That's people coming together, trying to make a decision and deciding, for the entire community. It's when they found out Greeks found out people were in love with kings and queens. They created the office of the president, and that's how democracy, moving on. So I don't know. And if there's anything key you learn about legislature, is that everybody must be included. The Constitution even states it. Yeah. Everybody must be included in the legislature. Now, when that was written, the definition of everybody then was constituencies, local governments. You understand? That was what the definition. Man has advanced. We're in 2022. The definition now, because of advancements in the world, could now be new communities are Nigerians in diaspora, Nigerians that live here, Nigerians living with people living with disabilities, women, youth. Those are the new representation units. Yeah. But the world has gone far past local governments. It's only Nigeria that's in that position.
Nice.
So that's what I think about it. So I think there's no legislature that is not inclusive, and the Constitution insists our legislature must be inclusive. So inclusive means we should have a holistic approach to it.
Yeah, beautiful. Emmanuel, what do you have to say about that?
Oh, okay, yeah. I like that you referenced Kenya when phrasing the question. Kenya has 7 governors. They just elected 7 governors in their last elections. That is a large. I don't think that's an unprecedented figure. And one of the reasons for increased women participation in Kenyan politics, both in attaining elective positions and in actually participating as electorate, is because in the Kenyan parliament, there are seats that are kept for women representatives. So every county, Kenya has counties, so each Kenyan county has a women representative that's elected into the parliament. So that seat is reserved. So every county it's just like imagine every state in Nigeria having a particular
seat
called a women rep.
Yeah.
So the fact that women can see themselves in parliament has spawned their engagement and has resulted in Kenyans having a lot of women across Kenyan politics. There's a large women representation. So what do I mean? People participate and engage in a society where they feel represented. So if Nigerians have a diasporan representative in the National Assembly, Nigerian diaspora remittances would increase. The number of Nigerian investment from Nigerian diaspora will increase. The number of businesses that will be set up by Nigerians in the diaspora would increase, because they'll be like, we have someone in there who, if it comes to policy, if it comes to representation, if it comes to issues, bottlenecks and the likes, they can speak for us. And that can only bode well for a country that is trying to move away from oil, right? We're trying to diversify our economy. We're trying to bring in foreign investment in the face of security challenges and all whatnot. The diaspora can help drive that economic change. Actually, it's a socio-economic phenomenon called the demographic dividend, where when a population is tilting towards a certain population demography, it could spur economic growth.
Yes.
And Nigeria is having what we call the youth bulge. 70% of our population are young people, right? But the flip side of a demographic dividend is going to have a demographic bomb. So either we'll have a lot of youth in Nigeria. If there's no commensurate economic infrastructure to support this youth bulge, then we have a bomb. If there is, then we have a dividend. Okay, and the diaspora can definitely help to steer this dividend. And having someone in there, having a representative that, these are the issues. Now we have, for example, the issues of forex, the issues of remittances and all that. if they have someone like that in the parliament, like Kunle said, a representative, someone representing them, someone that can speak their language, that can know their needs, it will go a long way making them more invested. And that is what we need.
Okay, we just have 5 minutes till the end of the show. I want to open up the phone lines. You can send in WhatsApp messages if you don't want to call in, but you can also call. The number to call is 0818 22 22 205. 0818 22 22 205. The big question today is, should provisions be made to allow Nigerians in diaspora take part in our voting process? Kunle, I want to ask you one last question before we go. Are you there? Hello? Ooh, I think the line is a bit shaky.
Yes, I'm there.
Okay.
Yes, I'm there.
All right. Great. So now, Emmanuel has actually given us a solution to, the fact that our economy is not doing that great right now. And we need, we're looking for things we need to do to boost our economy. And luckily enough, we're having this conversation today. And he has pointed out the fact that, this can cause an economic, boom for us if we just, if we make this a part of our voting process. That's how big it is, and that's how it can affect the economic growth. So how far do you think we are from this kind of development of representation for people in diaspora? How far do you think are we from this? Especially knowing that it's something that can save the economy in the long run and even immediately.
No. I don't think save the economy is quite a far-fetched.
Okay.
It can if you maybe that's looking at the correct.
It can assist. I mean, we're looking for anything
It can assist.
Save the economy.
Okay.
Save the economy.
Okay, it can assist. All right. Yeah, it can help.
But looking at it generally, if you ask me, I already know that the next assembly, which is the 10th assembly, we have to push this in. We might start getting success in about the 11th. The best time I'm looking at it realistically to get this done, except magic happens, is the 12th assembly, about 2030.
About 20 what?
31.
2031.
Yeah, that'll be adding 8 years to now. Yeah.
All right. I mean, we're still hopeful, and that's why we're having conversations like this. All right, to wrap up the show, Kunle, do you have any final words for us and our listeners today?
Okay. We need to start to think of Nigeria as a country. We can't move forward if we do not learn to love a country first. So long as you're Nigerian, nothing else should matter. Tribe, ethnicity, disability, or any other part. We all should join hands to try to move this country forward. I think that's the best way to end it.
All right, Emmanuel, how about you?
Yeah, okay, my message would be to the Nigerian diaspora or those listening who are intending diasporans. Don't get discouraged. Still keep the patriotic fire burning. We're seeing some paradigm shift. We had issues of, I think we've never had such a clamor for diaspora contributions to political campaigns and candidates as we've had now. We've had situations where leaders travel abroad and the Nigerians there hold them to tax. I think there was even a situation where one was forcefully asked to exit a room and go back and fix his constituency or his part of the country. So I'd like to encourage them to keep the patriotic fire coming, keep the interest in the nation, and we're optimistic, even though Kunle has projected
2031
12th assembly. We're optimistic that maybe we could have people come in the next assembly or the 11th who could take it up. And then for Nigerians also in Nigeria, I think I'd also like to ask us to shed these simile bias that some people have about those who have japared in quotes, right? I mean, they are still Nigerians, so they didn't escape.
As in,
they just it's needful that a country has a thriving diaspora community. So let's still see them not as separate people, but as still Nigerians who also have an important part to play in our life and in our polity.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Emmanuel F. Young. And in conclusion, INEC have said that they are committed to providing Nigerians living outside the country the opportunity to have a say in who becomes their leaders at various levels. The Independent National Electoral Commission have agreed to work on the technical areas of developing a policy when the legal framework are eventually removed or, put in place.